Welcome back into another Dragon Ball Super card game video. This one's a little bit early and kind of out of nowhere, but oh well. We got some anniversary box spoilers. I want to go through them probably every 2 days or so. I want to go through all the spoilers and talk about that. Take a look at the market, take a look at the type of cards that we can take a look at or use. So definitely subscribe if you are new and want to see more, and definitely let me know what you think about the spoilers in general if you've seen them already in the comments below. So let's get into it right now. Alright, so the first one is going to be this Goku, and before I start, they being the DBS card game, they'd go ahead and put a post in which they said, based on the new feedback with the 3rd anniversary box of DBS CG, which, by the way, 3 years with the DBS, that is insane. Not only the new cards, but the alternative reprints, sleeves, and box designs are all carefully selected with you, the player, in mind. And it's going to be handpicked a day until January or July 22nd. So we're only going to get this for a few more days, and then we fully reveal all the new cards. And then yeah, so this one actually does show off some red Vegito support. Basically, it says negate the attack and play this card for 3, or if you have 3 or more energy, reduce this cost in the card in your deck and hand by 2, which is interesting that they add deck. But for this is basically a 1 cost 10k negate. And of course, the activate main is that if your leader card is a Vegito card, you get to add a one card in your life and add to your hand and play this card from your hand. So basically, it's self-awakening for Vegito. It doesn't say red Vegito, which is awesome because that means the new Vegito. We can play red blue. You can play the older Vegito, of course, the red one. You can play the green Vegito if you want to go red green. So a lot of different ways you can do this and help yourself to do some self-awakening and do this card for free, or for just one red energy. That's pretty crazy in order to get to that Unipator type place. And it's nice to have an extra negate. Basically, this does like 2 or 3 things. Self-awakening, gets you a Unipator target, and gets you a negate. So overall, pretty solid. And before we get into that or even more, is that we do have this card, which is kind of busted. If the battle card is the kind of plays, the battle card is 15k or less, it's placed in the drop area instead of being played. So it's one of those negates that they don't even get their effects. It's pretty crazy. It's amazing, actually. And if you have 3 or more energy, you reduce the cost in this card in your deck and hand by 2. If your leader card is a Vegito card, you can add this card from your life, add 1 from your life and add it to your hand, and play this card from your hand. So both of these, let's say turn 2, you can get a Unipator target, both of them being 10k, both of them being 0.5s. Really, really good. Just overall for the Vegito archetype, it helps any Unipator in general, and 3 or more energy is a really good restriction because you really don't want to use this for 1 energy in any deck, basically 3 or less energy, because that's a little too strong. Let's just put it that way. And of course, the last one is going to be this Vegito card. It's a 5-drop with barrier, by the way, which I didn't even notice before, which is just crazy. A lot of people just look at this guy over here. Every leader card is a red Vegito. You draw 2 cards, just like the other Fusion Gogeta BR stuff. And now the Gotenks, I do believe, you draw 2 cards and replace it itself. And now, depending on what kind of recursion we might see in the future, or we have right now in the current sets, we might be able to get those cards right back. So that's pretty cool. Now, the Goku and Vegeta, which again, you can use these, you know, as Unipator, you can do that, or you can go ahead and use the Vegito anniversary box. So the last year's anniversary box, in which you play 1 and you play out 2 Goku Vegetas at the same power. And now this one says activate main or battle. By the way, both of these, activate main and activate main battle, both of those effects don't have once per turn. So technically, as long as you have the energy and you can awaken, whatever you want to do, you can play as many Vegetos as you want. So this one says play up to 1 Vegito card with energy cost of 7 or less in your deck, and play on top of this card and shuffle your deck. So for free in Unipator, you have a 25k barrier 5-drop, right? And let's say if you play something on top of the card, as in I think the Repeated Force Vegito, which we'll take a look at in a second, actually restands this card, and you can go ahead and swing and just keep going, so which is pretty cool. And now this one, which is busted, is that the activate main, you pay 4 red, you choose up to 1 Vegito card which with energy cost of 10 or less in your hand, and play it on top of the card. So this one plays from the deck, this one plays in your hand, so those 2 are very, very important to know. but from the deck for 2 energy and no once per turn, dude, that's really good. And now this 10 or less definitely has a huge range. The first thing is Hyper Rush, in my opinion, which this one you can play Hyper Rush in a green red deck, which I'm probably gonna go ahead and do. And then of course the second one plays out the SCR, which let's take a look at the targets first. So if we look at the targets, if we just look at battle cards, so 7 or less, I do believe it said. So we can use the Lightning Speed, which is not too bad. It's a rare, you know, not too bad. And then we also have the Repeated Force, the SR, back in set 2. You place this card in active mode on top of the 2. So I don't know if you actually are able to place on in active mode after you Union Batora, but I'm guessing you can. This one says 7 or less on top of this card from your deck. This one is the Union Batora, so I would imagine any Union Batora, you know, obviously goes into active mode, but like you swing with 2 battle cards, you Goku and Vegeta, and then you Union Batora and goes into active mode. But I'm pretty sure since you're playing on top of the card, it's not going to be able to do that. This one doesn't restand, so kind of a bummer, but that's okay. This is gonna be a really good target because it is a basically a 2-cost triple striking 25k that you get 5k power for every card in your drop. That's Goku Vegeta, so that's pretty solid. Of course, we have all these other ones, like we have the Bursting Vegito that has double strike and 25k, and then you place 1 card in your life and you take you untap 2 energy, which is pretty sweet. And then we have the new Vegito, and when it's played, you get to bottom deck 2 cards. So that's pretty cool. And then we also have, let's see, we also have the Hyper Rush that we can play on. For this one, you choose a battle card of theirs, 1 from their hand, and draw 2 cards, and then take 2 life, up to 2 life, which you already did for the 2 cards with the new set or this anniversary box. So that's pretty sweet. And then Vegito the Savior that has dual attack and critical, and then if it attacks twice, it gains double strike, which is pretty funny. Yeah, I mean that's pretty cool. This is an 8 cost, but that's still pretty cool. This one I do believe has to have a future Trunks leader, so I don't know if that's going to be all that great. And then of course for the 10 or less, we have the Union Batora, which definitely works, or the Power Batora, which definitely works because it is a Vegito and it is 8 or less or 10 or less. So you get to rest 4, draw 4, and draw 2 with the original one. So that's interesting. It's pretty crazy. That's probably we're gonna see. We'll see. Anyway, overall, just really cool. Of course, like I said, the Vegito, the polymorphic Batora, activate main. You go place 2 Goku and Vegeta, 2 or less, negate their skills in rest mode, and then they go away at the end of the turn. It's gonna be perfect for this new Vegito as well. Overall, like we have a lot of good Vegito targets, and that card simply just helps quite a lot for it. And of course, I want to take a look at, you know, pricing, in which it's an important thing right now in the DPS card game, if you haven't noticed. But the Repeated Forces, I think, got bought out, I want to say. Yeah, they're all out of stock. Yeah, they're all out of stock. So there you go. We're probably not going to get any more of these because set 2 is not exactly printed often. And then we also have the Hyper Rush Vegito, which doesn't look like they're bought out. So I mean, I'm not deciding anything, but I mean, I feel like that's a good target, right? That's a really good target. And then the Hyper Rush, yeah, the Hyper Rush SPRs are now $40, which that's just crazy. And then we also have probably the SCR. I want to say the SCR now $100 out of the 80 or 85. So wow, that's pretty crazy what these cards do, you know, to these prices. Again, I'm not deciding anything, but if you do buy, please use my TCG play link. All right, let's now quickly go into the Android 21. This one is a 1-drop negate for 1 blue, which is awesome. If you loot a card as a blue Android 21 card and you have a blue-green multicolor in your energy, you choose up to 1 Android 16 card with energy costs of 2 or less and play it. Okay, there's many busted things about this, okay? Many busted things about this. The first thing is that it's a negate, and that you get to play an Android 16 that ramps you on their turn, and the fact that it doesn't have a once per turn, and that you don't have to do it, or it doesn't restrict you from doing it for more than 1 turn, right? those are all busted. I'm gonna have to let you know. The only unbusted thing about this is that you have to have an Android 21 leader, right? We have 2 of them. One of them really does help or want to ramp and use the blue-green energy, and that's gonna be the biggest one. So as long as we have that restriction, I think this card's pretty solid, right? There's a lot of cool implications about this, in which the Android 16 2 or less is basically going to be the 2-cost ramp card, in which it takes a top card and puts in the energy and rest mode. So I think, you know, that's good. We might have targets in the future. We might have targets in this box set. I don't know. It's really hard to say. But this next card here, the Super 17 Hell's Ultimate Weapon, is pretty crazy, in which your leader card is a blue Android 21. You get to negate the energy loss and all skills, so it's basically a check land for you. It's like an extra check land with the Android 17, and then it's a 25k. But if you play this card from your hand, paying 7 energy, 2 green, 2 blue, that's a lot. You play up to 3 Android cards with any cost of 5 less in your energy area. So not only that, you probably want to get the Android 21 Bad Omen, so that's the whole idea. You get to play 3 of those from your energy area. You get to play this card, you crit them 3 life, and now you swing with a bunch of 25ks basically, right? But in that instance in which it is 5 or less, there's a lot of other targets for that. Okay, so we're taking a look at it right now. Again, Bad Omen is going to be the best target for this. As soon as you play the card, you get to pop a card for their side and then place one in their life in their drop area and crit it. Of course, here's the Android 16 that I was talking about before. Everybody should know that card. We have a lot of black cards that are Android cards, which is going to be funny if you use Android self-reformation. If your leader card is an Android card, you can technically play it, so that's funny. And then we also have a bunch of other targets in which, you know, we have the Deadly Defender. We have, let's see, the Full of Rage, which is cool, but not too amazing. I don't know. There's not too many busted targets. This probably is now a little bit better, I guess, but I don't know if that's going to be game ending, especially for 7 energy. You're going to get to 7 energy, I feel like, especially with like your charge, the counterplay with Android 16, which is basically you're going to be doing a blue green and then charging another one, and then turn 2 you're going to either have 1 or 2 of those negates. You're going to have ramp to 3 and then 4 on the next turn, right? So you're going to be getting there pretty quickly. The only thing about it is that it's RNG. You know, you're going to be basically taking a chance if you're going to charge another negate or charge a 16 from there, etc. Plus, you're going to have to not only do it, but I'm pretty sure it says from the hand, so you're going to have it in your hand too. So there you go. And then we also have not too many other targets, honestly. Like, there's nothing that really pops out. The Android 21 Bad Omen's probably going to be the best target. This is a cool target for that too, but I mean, you're going to have to charge green and yellow. So there's a lot of downsides to this. Of course, if you look at the TTG player side of things, like I said, Android 16, I don't think that those got really touched, but the SPRs are now bought out. So thank you, DBS community, for buying out the SPRs. Either way, let me know what you think about the reveals, and what do you think is going to be next. I think in the post, it says a fan favorite leader from Series 6, so it doesn't really say too much. Could be anything. I really don't know. But if you do need a reminder, this is pretty much all, or these are pretty much all the archetypes for this, in which if you scroll down on the strategy page, it could be something from Golden Frieza, it could be from the Gogeta archetype, like the red Gogeta archetype. We do have the Majin Buu, which would be pretty cool. We could have something from AOD. We could have something from Green Broly, which is probable. Like, I feel like honestly, I'm thinking that Bandai really likes Green Broly. I want him. They want them to come back. We obviously already know that BoJack is going to be there. If you already seen the GTS distribution release, already know that BoJack is going to be one of them. And then Kid Ku would be cool. Super Shenron probably not going to touch. So I would have liked. It's most likely going to be BoJack tomorrow. Kid Ku maybe, but BoJack and as well as the Green Broly line is going to be the my picks. So either way, let me know in the comments below what you think. I will see you in the next one.